Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of Healing Stars, and I'm helping you navigate major life transitions gracefully with soul astrology and spiritual life coaching. And this video is about the new moon in Taurus. And listen to the end because there's in a few days' time an incredibly special, auspicious day. And I'd like you to know when that is. The new moon in Taurus is focusing us on Venus, and she's the Empress in the Tarot and represents fertility and creativity. So Venus is all about love and relationships, and the Empress here is showing you clearly her fertile state. Notice how she is actually pregnant here. And the crown of 12 stars on her head represents the birth of all souls. Now she's sitting in a garden. That represents, of course, abundance. And notice there's ripened corn in front of her, the cypress trees behind her, and the rushing water. Now Venus, the pregnancy, the fertility, is occurring in the sign of Gemini. And Gemini is all about fun, flirtation. It's very light-hearted. It's a sign of communication. And also it's the twins, it's duality. So it's cooperation with others. And there's a love and thirst for knowledge with Gemini, a curiosity and a readiness for change. So that's a question for you to ask this month. Are you ready for change? Are you curious? What is it you want to learn? Now this is the chart. I've set it so it starts with Aries, and the signs go anti-clockwise around. And as you can see, this is Mercury and Uranus in Aries, and that is coming very close. That Mercury now is moving forward and will join Uranus in 2 days' time. This is an exciting, auspicious event. It's ideas coming out of the ether. And the sun, there's the moon and the sun, they're in the sign of Taurus, a fixed earth sign. So this is the time of year when we plant. We put things into the ground, we water them, and so they grow. And this is, of course, to manifest, to produce something later on. And it's a key thing to be doing now, to plant, literally to plant something in a pot, in a garden, of course, and window box, to make that effort, especially doing it over this weekend. Now the sun and moon are at the moment, in this new moon, making a very positive connection across to Mars, now moving forward, hooray, in the sign of Virgo. And then also they're moving to create a grand Earth trine along with Pluto in that very powerful sign of Capricorn. Notice the colours. This is a colour wheel, and it begins with Aries. It's the red, and it goes through the colours of the rainbow, and it ends up with the magenta of Pisces. To give you some idea of the flow of energy through the signs. You can find out more on my website under the listing of Aura Soma. Now the sun and moon in Taurus, as I said, that fertility, that creativity, is also boosted because there is a flow, a good positive energy. Notice the dotted blue line up to Neptune. There's Neptune in the sign of Pisces, which means it's almost exact. It's just 1 degree away, so it'll be exact on Sunday. And that is the highest vibration of Venus. So it's our connection to the source, to oneness, to the pineal gland in the physical body, the third eye. So it's to tune in very much, always at a new moon, we meditate, but to tune in to inspiration, to be near the sea, or to have some connection. Notice your dreams, especially at this time. That's all how Neptune speaks to us, through images, through mood, through music, through art. But to be aware and let yourself settle into that space. Also notice that at the moment Chiron in Pisces is also making a flow of energy up to Pluto in Capricorn, And that's a good aspect for healing, because Chiron is all about healing. It's also to do with awakening, things that trigger us to make change in our lives, which is often not comfortable. It is now forming another opposition to Mars. It's at 3 degrees, almost 4 degrees of Virgo, and Chiron there at 8 Pisces. So that is going to be building over the next few weeks. Venus herself, because she's key, because she's the planet that governs the sun and the moon, here she is down in Gemini. Now Venus will be going retrograde in May. So she spends not her normal a few weeks tour of duty through a sign, but she's spending 2 months in Gemini. And Gemini is that curious sign. So it is a very good time for new learnings, to be aware of new ideas, to change your mind about some fixed beliefs you may have. I notice this in my own life. I'm looking at new healing modalities, and people are introducing me to new concepts. So it's to be open to that communication that is, the universe wants us to listen at this time. Also, notice Venus is with the south node of the moon, and as she retrogrades back, she will be very significant when we get the next eclipse. That's in a couple of months. The aspect that I'm interested in most of all is this Mercury-Uranus, because that's the 3rd time that Mercury will join Uranus. So this weekend, allow yourself that spark, that genius, that idea that comes from the ether. Listen to it, act on it, write it down, keep a notebook around you. Well, those, they do come, ideas do come from the ether. Now, the idea also at this time is to tune in to our creativity. And this beautiful image is from the Osho Zen Tarot card. And it is quite beautiful. And these are the words of Osho, which I wanted to share with you. From the alchemy of fire and water below to the divine light entering from above, the figure in this card is literally possessed by the creative force. Really, the experience of creativity is an entry into the mysterious, and that very much is Neptune's realm. Technique, expertise, and knowledge are just tools. The key is to abandon oneself to the energy that fuels the birth of all things. This energy has no form or structure, yet all the forms and structures come out of it. It makes no difference what particular form your creativity takes. This is a key fact. It can be painting or singing or planting a garden. It can be making a meal. These are all Taurian things, to food, wine, pleasure. So the important thing is to be open to what wants to be expressed through you. And remember, we don't possess our creations. They do not belong to us. Important principle which will be very relevant at the full moon in Scorpio, which is about letting go. So true creativity arises from a union with the divine, with the mystical and the unknowable. Then it is both a joy for the creator and a blessing to others. So this is a picture of Venus in the sky. She's still very visible, so look up tonight, especially look up, see her. And the affirmation is, I nurture my creative potential as a gateway for my highest personal fulfillment. I give love and support to others and appreciate their beauty. And that date I told you about, well, it's April the 23rd. That's in the UK. And the best time, if you want an exact time, will be about 11:30 in the morning. It's British summertime. And the reason it's so extraordinary is in the Vedic astrology system, which I also use, the sun is exalted, it's in Aries, and it's with Jupiter. And the moon is exalted in Taurus. Remember, this, I'm talking Vedic, it's a different system, and it's with Venus. So this is the one day of the year the sun and moon, the two lights, the luminaries, are exalted. The fact they're both with the two most benefic planets in astrology gives it an extra oomph. That only happens every 12 years. For the people who want to know, if you look at Camilla Sutton's website, she'll give you some information. But it's called Akshaya Tritiya. Forgive my pronunciation. But it means that which never ends. So it's a good time to begin what you want to be eternal. It's good for new business ventures, for weddings, for long journeys, for buying things like gold or silver or other assets. So it's also a good time, of course, to meditate, to connect with the eternal. Thank you for listening. I've enjoyed this new moon in Taurus. I hope you feel pleased with what I've shared with you. Signing off, Pam Carruthers at healingstars.com.